the stream.
And we are live with EVPs, Every Voice Paranormal Stories with Coast Mafia and Brian's Paranormal.
How's it going, guys?
We got in here. We got Boomer Rock says you're late. Yeah, we're always late. It's all right.
Oh my goodness, it's just like pregnancy.
I need to
Rock
interject. Boomer, that was my fault.
Blue Rock's in the house. Oh, look at this. All stars in the chat.
Oh, I gotta pull up your channel. Yeah.
Elliot Hofield, Chris the Fam. Welcome, guys. Welcome. Now, we got a special guest tonight that's going to be sharing his story with us. Green Bay Wacky is here on the channel, and he has a paranormal story. And I know we gotta kind of get to it quickly because he's got his prayer stream starting just shortly in about 10-15 minutes. So we're gonna let him.
I'm gonna change that real quick. I'm just gonna change it by 15 minutes. Talking goes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, let me go in, and it was pre-scheduled. Keep talking. Sorry.
It's all right. It's good.
Okay, you back home now? That was a lot of heavy breathing coming from you over there, Brian.
Oh, I was running into the house.
Wow, the way that
A
sounds.
lot of heavy breathing.
That, yeah. See, I should have told her Ghost Mafia.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, how is everybody out there in the chat tonight? Mystic Angel Christina's here. Rock G, Chris Tam, Double JTV. What's up?
How's everyone doing tonight? I hope everyone is great. And doing good.
Jay the Fam is here. What's going on, little Jay? It's
Let me
filling up
get your
quick.
stream tweeted out here. I just got to your live. Let's get some people in here.
Yes, I'm working on getting the tweets out now.
I'm Spider-Man still.
Getting the Twitter out of here. Yeah,
Hitting the twatter.
there we go.
Ghost is live. Ghost stories. Yeah, let's get some more people in there.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man needs to go to bed or he's going to be in trouble.
I'm just like typing in the chat so I don't
Sherry,
like
Your
it.
movie thing tomorrow.
What's going on,
You want to
Sherry?
be able to have your tablet when you get home, right?
Hey,
So then you
Jen.
got to do as you're told, please. Okay?
It's Jay the Fam.
Boomer says, "Hey, Green Bay Wacky."
I just racing guys, so I'm
Boomer Rock in the
Well,
chat.
it doesn't give you an excuse to act up.
As you guys can see, I've done some upgrades to the channel. I've got some new software. I've got a new camera. You know,
Yep.
I'm building the channel up slowly but surely. I've got some more new stuff on the way. It should be here by the end of the month. And doing a lot of improvements with the channel.
Sweet.
Yeah.
And don't forget to smash that like. Smash it, crush it. As
Crush
the
it.
cat says, crush it like a Hulk.
Crush it like a hog. Haunt it.
I went where are the new ones?
Why? I have shoes.
Okay.
They're here. What's going on, Blood?
Hey, Mystic A Blood, what's up?
Another member of Nations 13, Britain in Blood right there. He had his payback stream the other day. It was great success. Did a cooking stream
Did you buy
afterwards. It went over
Did you buy
really,
that?
really well.
Did you buy
Thanks
that?
goes out to
It's the one
everybody that
from
helped with
upstairs
the
that I have.
paybacks over the last
Oh,
week.
my red light.
And, you know, much appreciation there. Manny
Yep.
G is in the house.
Welcome.
Are you still heavy breathing?
Nope.
What's going on? Heavy breathing. Oh my goodness.
I'm done going to the fire. We're good
That
now.
was a family show.
Right?
Now we just gotta get you to turn your camera on.
Sorry, I couldn't resist.
Yeah, just give me a sec. The outside light's not on.
No.
Hey, Kyoko's out there. Rock
We got some invites out to Lunatic Dad and Uber Goober Lady. Paula from Bull Run Paranormal.
Yep.
Gonna try to get her on here tonight, and then you know, maybe a couple people out of the chat that wants to share their paranormal stories. We'll bring them up on panel as well. You know,
Yep.
you guys have been, or you know how this show works. And so Wacky, tell us the story, man. I got to hear about this.
Yeah.
Like this was an ex-girlfriend, or what?
No.
What was the deal?
My only story, but it's so damn scary that I never want to do it again.
Yeah.
I've told it before, but hey, you asked if I had any, and there's probably people in the chat that haven't heard it. No, this is when I was 17. I had a girlfriend that was a witch. And, at the time, I thought it was kind of exciting. Ooh, my girlfriend's a witch, And so one night, she's like, hey, want to do some tarot cards? I'm like, I don't know what those are. She's like, don't worry, I do. I'm like, that was my first mistake.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So, so she actually made some pretty astonishing claims to me. I mean, she told me, you're young and you're messing around, you think life's great. We lived together. I was emancipated, so that's why I was out of the house when I was 17. She told me that she had a different form, and if she ever revealed it to me, I would die. That's what she told. Yeah, that's what she told me, and she was pretty dead serious. But I was like, oh yeah, right. Why would that happen? We're friends. She goes, no, I'm not kidding. She goes, I got a different form. If you see it, you'll die. But that's not the story. That was just something spooky. But Anyway, no. So back to the tarot cards. Yeah. So we had we lived in a studio apartment. There was only one window. That's it. One window. And we were no drugs. Some people have asked, wow, you must have been high or something like that. So she's doing the tarot cards, and it's like I'm there again. I mean, I can remember it clear as day. She's doing these tarot cards, and she's telling us that we should be talking to these spirits that are all around us. And I'm not a paranormal guy. I'm like, I don't know what this means. She goes, no, just drift back, kind of just close your eyes, ask them to, show themselves, that kind of stuff. I'm going along with it thinking it's a joke, and she's really getting into it. Like, she's chanting some stuff. I don't know what the hell she's saying. And then she puts down this card, and this is what kind of got it all started. It's the card. I said, what is that? That's a strange looking card. She says, you don't want to know. I said, no, I want to know. What is that? She says, well, that's a card of death. And I'm like, oh, great. Yeah. I'm like, isn't that kind of bad? She goes, well, it could be, and I'm like, but this is what really got everything, I'm getting into this sort of, she's getting into this, reveal yourself kind of thing. And I'm just thinking it's a joke. And I kid you not, we had a candle going, single candle. This candle, you know how big a wick is on a candle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this candle grew like 2 feet tall on a flame. And there was wind in the room. I mean, actual wind on a closed window studio apartment. There's wind.
Wow.
And this is the thing about the paranormal thing. That's why I don't ever want to experience this again. I really you've heard the expression, the hair on the back of your head stands up,
Yeah.
Well, that's what happened.
His fingers tiny.
Something was way off here, and I knew it, and I felt it, and I was scared shitless. Oh, sorry, I don't know. It's a family channel. Maybe. Sorry, there's a kid there.
Oh, it's good. It's good.
Well, sorry, I don't want to swear. It's your channel.
Oh, we got a lunatic dad coming on here after a bit.
Oh, okay. I'm harmless.
He'll
Okay.
take a left turn, I'm sure.
Well, so I'm feeling an energy in the room. Something's way off, and
Yeah.
I get up, because I'm really scared because I'm feeling like something's way off here. And she's got this huge mirror on the wall, and I look in this mirror, and that's when I'm ready to I thought I was gonna die. I'm gonna explain it this way: there were 3 figures that appeared in this mirror over the course of about 30 to 45 seconds, and clear as day, like as if I'm looking at myself right now. And the first one that appeared was a black face, and it had outlines of its eyebrows, and you could tell where the chin would be and stuff, but it was just staring at me. And I know this is going to sound weird, but I swear it wanted out of that mirror. I've read up about this, actually, something about mirrors I've heard with the
mirrors are portals.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
She's behind me too. She's watching this, and she's kind of like, I can tell she's really scared. But you know, the weirdest thing is I couldn't help but look at it because I've never seen anything like this before. And then it faded away, and then there was an old woman in a rocking chair, as weird as that sounds. I don't know, a black face. All of a sudden, there's an old lady, and she turns and she looks at me and stares at me. And this is, I'm just like kind of frozen. I don't know why I couldn't take my eyes off of looking at this. And then she disappeared. And then the only way to describe the last figure would be like a wolf man. It was like a monstrous face. And really scared. A lot of wind in the room. I mean, like blowing, you know, candle going. And all I could think of doing was I went over and I smashed the candle and the cards. I threw them off the table, and me and her ran out into the hall, like, you know, doing that. And I just looked at her. I said, "Look, I don't want to sound crazy here. Did you see what I saw?" She goes, and because I didn't want to say anything, so I was just like, "Did you see what I saw?" And she goes, "There was a black face." She goes, "There was some old lady in a chair and like some hairy monster thing." And I was like, "Holy shit!" I was like, "That's what I saw." Yeah. And then she says, "Well, I got to be honest with you." She goes, I've been out in the woods before. I've summoned spirits that I've had to run out of the woods." I was like, "Oh, thanks for sharing," you know. And
that's pretty scary.
Yeah, it left an impression on me.
So did that ever happen again?
No, never, because I never got with any. Now, here was the scary thing. I've talked to some people over the years about it, and I don't know. I'm just throwing this out. I don't know. I was actually a Christian at the time in my mind. Some people suggested the possibility that the spirits that I was able to get a glimpse of might have been there for her, not me. Like, because they were actually like drawn to her, the witch, and me. I'm just sort of in the middle of this thing. I don't know, but something happened that night, and it left such an impression on me. I never, ever messed with tarot cards or anything again. As a matter of fact, we stayed together after that night. She wanted to start doing pentagrams on the, you know, floor of our place, and I was like, "This is too much. I can't be part of this. I gotta go."
Wow, that's crazy. Everybody in the chat, I see ya.
So that's my one story that I have. But there was one other thing that happened once that I still don't know what it was. I guess I could throw it out since I'm here.
Go ahead.
But it happened. I don't know what. Me and my wife now had a restaurant together. It had an apartment above, and one night we had lived there for a little while, only maybe a month or couple months. One night, have you ever heard of like being frozen with your eyes open?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, I read up on this that some people claim that can be a paralysis in your sleep or something.
Yes, it's called sleep paralysis. It's the body. When you sleep, your body puts off chemicals that basically paralyzes your body, so you sleep deeper when you go into REM sleep. And there has been instances of people waking up and feel like they're pinned to the bed or they can't move.
That's what it was. But the thing is, I felt like there was something in the room with me. And so to this day, I still don't know if that's what, because that's never happened in my life before, ever.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was a paranormal or not. I don't know on the second story, but it was weird because I was paralyzed for like, man, it must have been a good, I don't know, 4 or 5 minutes.
How long ago, like after the incident with your girlfriend, how long after that did that happen?
Oh, that was years after. That was years. But I always wondered if there was something in that restaurant. It kind of felt a little off there, you know? I don't know.
Yeah. What restaurant was that, Wacky?
It was one that we owned. We owned the restaurant.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and this was in an old building in an old small town. And so we had moved in there because we bought the restaurant and the apartment came with it, you know?
Yeah.
And we moved into it. I was getting divorced and all that. It was a terrible time in my life. But yeah, that night, I've always wondered about that night because I couldn't move at all, but I could see and I felt like something was watching me. I couldn't even move an arm. I couldn't even move a finger, not even a finger.
Did you speak?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see. That's all I could do is see.
No, could you speak?
No. I was lying right next to my girlfriend, now my wife. I couldn't even say help. Nothing.
Yeah.
I always wondered if something was.
Peggy should be here pretty soon. I gave her the link. She was going to go fire up the computer, and she can definitely answer your question.
Yeah. Hey, Emma. Yeah, like
Emma the Normal.
But that's
there's
all
a
I
lot.
got. Sorry to say, that's all I got.
It's all right, Wacky. Hey, Mama Rock.
Hi, Mama.
Rock's here. Hey, Mama.
And
Hey.
We
And
can
that
get
is
Mama Rock up here too if she
that
wants
is
to come
Uber
up.
Goober lady. It's a little dark, but she is there.
I'm here.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And you're
Long
beautiful.
day for you, darling.
You're beautiful, Uber
Thank you.
Goober.
Thank you, honey. I appreciate that very much. Very much.
Beautiful lady you are, Uber.
Oh, guys. Thank you. Hi, everybody.
Hi, Uber.
Hello, baby.
Me and Uber were doing a stream earlier. We was doing the updates on the hurricane situation, and
Yeah.
they're up to. Last I seen it was still 12 that they had found that had passed, but
wow!
I expect a lot more with all the flooding and everything.
Yeah, I do
A
too.
lot of them didn't evacuate; they sheltered in place, and by the looks of Mexico Beach area, I mean, there was just homes just washed away from their foundations. It was just concrete plots where the houses used to be.
Yeah.
And,
I hope to God those folks got out of there.
I do too.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
Look who just made it.
I gotta say,
Hey, Paula.
Hey,
Paula.
everybody. Hello.
There's
How's
the
it
lady you
going?
need to talk to, Ghost. Wacky.
Oh, yeah.
I just got to clarify one thing. I typed it, but let me just say it. My current wife is not a witch. No, this was a previous girlfriend.
Okay.
The witch was the previous girlfriend.
That's what we all say, right?
Yeah. Paula, while you're here, tell us a little bit about yourself and your channel, real quick.
Okay. My name's Paula. My channel is Bull Run Paranormal. Been a paranormal investigator for about 12 years. I've been a practicing witch for about 15 years. I did 31 years in the fire service here in Northern Virginia. I retired a couple of years ago. I'm off as a sheriff.
No diss to witches with my story.
Hey, my broom's hung up for the night. It's all good. It's too windy outside right now anyway.
Okay.
Met Ghost through Uber Goober Lady, and I finally made it here. When you're on, my better half gets up at dark 30, and I actually get up at 4 a.m. and cook him breakfast. So usually about this time, he's already been in bed for an hour now. So it's
nice.
early mornings around here.
Yeah, and Paula was. I keep wanting to call you Pamela. I'm sorry for that. I'm terrible with names.
I'll answer about anything.
Paula was with us on the streams with Uber Goober. She is a 35-year veteran of the fire service.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right?
35 years?
Yeah.
I was actually hired in 1985, and I was a volunteer prior to that. And I did the last 20 years of my career in the fire marshal's office.
Wow, thanks for that service.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
I'm just waiting another 2 years till my better half can retire, and then we will be out of the wonderful land of the suburbs of Washington, D.C., and we can't wait. But I also have a paranormal group that's called Dark Hollow Ghost Stalkers. My buddy Alex actually founded it, and he's a retired Navy chief. So we make a really good team.
Oh, yeah.
Paula's worked with some of the best in the business. She's worked with Okay, make your list up. I'm sorry, I forget names. But the ghost collector or the haunted collector, she's worked.
Yeah, I worked
Pardon
with
me.
John Zaffis
John
Mhm.
Zappis,
on
yep.
a case, and I also worked with Father Dave Daly on a demonic exorcism down in Mechanicsville, Virginia.
And
Wow.
John Zappis is the nephew of Ed and Lorraine Warren. He is also the one that took over the Ed and Lorraine Warren's haunted museum.
Oh,
Plus,
yeah,
he's got
those
one of his
guys.
own.
Those guys,
Yeah.
they did the Amityville thing and all those other ones, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yep.
Wow.
So Ghost had a thing go on, Paula. He was laying in bed and kind of got frozen and felt somebody was there, but he couldn't move. He could just open his
Oh, no,
eyes
that
and he
was
could look
Wacky.
around. Or Ghost.
was
I
Wacky.
mean Wacky. Sorry.
All right.
And he doesn't know what it was. Could you explain to him?
Well, it can be a couple of different things. There are naturally occurring phenomena called night paralysis, and that's just it naturally occurs every once in a while due to like an interrupted sleep pattern or something, like that going on.
Yeah, I've read up on that.
Yep. And, it's part of night terrors also. But a lot of times shadow people can cause that. So,
Yeah.
if you...
Wow, I just got chills when you said that.
But, all shadow people are not bad. A lot of them are just observers in my experience. There are some nasty ones, don't get me wrong. But my buddy Alex, his daughter coexisted with literally a family of ghosts and a shadow person for 10 years in a house that she rented down in Summerduck.
So what's this about the mirrors being portals? That's probably the thing that's bothered me the most in my life. What is it about mirrors and these beings in mirrors?
Well, a lot of magical and occult practitioners use mirrors for what is called scrying. And that is a deep kind of meditative state and a form of divination where you look into a mirror and you actually start seeing images of what's either happened or what's yet to come. And a lot of people believe that these are portals to other realms. In other words, to the astral realm. So like in the Victorian era, and even times before, people thought that when someone died, because most people back then you died at home, you didn't die in a hospital typically. They thought that your spirit could get caught in a mirror and get trapped in the mirror and it wouldn't move on. So that's why the custom of draping mirrors in black cloth developed.
Oh, wow.
They couldn't get trapped in a mirror.
Wow. I'm just curious if you knew anything about that.
Yeah.
That's the one that's bothered me to this day.
I tend to stay away from like antique mirrors and stuff like that I don't know where it came from. I mean, I've got one from my grandmother's and it creeped me out enough, that I don't have it out anywhere. I just have it, but it's bound up, and I kind of did a little binding ritual on it to keep whatever. I think it was one of her granddad or something like that was in there. He was not a very nice man.
Wow. Well, I appreciate that information. I mean, I know this sucks and sounds really bad. I have to go, Ghost.
Oh, we understand. We know you got your prayer stream. And
Take care, Mr. Wacky.
I know. Lunatic Dad's just got it. You guys are great, and I'm having a lot of fun. I've just got a prior commitment. That's all.
Well, we
That's all
love
right.
you.
we got you.
We love you, Wacky.
I
When
love you
when
guys.
we went down to our stream, we'll be over in yours, I'm sure.
Well, maybe
Oh,
I'll be back here. Maybe yours will go for a while. How long is it going to go?
Typically, usually goes 2 to 3 hours, depending.
I promise.
So-
If I can make it back, I'll come back. I promise.
Okay.
And
Awesome.
I just love you guys so much.
And listen, Green Bay, go to Bull Run Paranormal. She has all the answers to everything you could ever imagine.
Oh, I won't say that, but there's a lot of information on my channel.
There is a lot of information, yes.
I want you guys to have just an incredible stream. Larry, love you. You know that.
Take care, David.
I'll catch up with you guys later. Everyone in the chat, make sure you crush the like button, tweet this stream out, give these guys some love.
Oh,
Bye-bye,
yeah.
Green Bay.
Thanks,
All right.
Wacky.
See you guys.
Thanks,
Sorry.
Wacky.
Sorry, I gotta leave. All right, see you.
It's all right.
Lunatic Dad.
Look at there.
Hello, my beautiful paranormal people. How are you today?
Great.
Reunited Uber Goober and Lunatic Dad here on EVP.
Oh, Lunatic Dad.
Yeah.
I want you to meet my BFF, Miss Paula. If you give me any shit, she's going to be on you like a fly on a turd, Pally.
Listen,
Like a turd, Polly?
I've already. I love you like my own damn sister. So we're all good. You know that we just play with each other. But I do have questions for everybody that is up on the panel that I like. I'm just interested in the paranormal. As you know, I may be looking like a paranormal, but I'm not a paranormal. So I'm going to shoot away. This is how it's going to go. I'm going to ask a question, and each person on the panel gets to answer that question. I enjoy being the moderator of this because I learn a lot of shit from you guys. So you guys ready or what? Give me a hell yeah now.
Oh, yeah, we're ready.
Oh, yeah, we're ready.
Hello?
We did this last week, and it turned out really good. It was awesome.
Uh-oh. Are you guys able to hear me or not?
Yep.
Yeah, we can hear you. I even turned
Okay.
up in the control panel.
I went into paranormal zone. I just a freaking period. All right. Well, anyway, I was saying that I want to ask all you guys questions, and one at a time. You guys pick the order, and maybe you guys can go ahead and razzle my mind a little bit. So, all right, here we go, guys down in the chat. The first question that I got for this awesome panel of people that have a lot of experience with the paranormal and the channels and investigation. I want to thank all you guys up here on this panel for allowing me to be up on there and asking some questions. Thank you. So, the first question I have is for the panel. Have any of you, at any point in time, decided that the paranormal doing it was too much and you were ready to walk away? And if you were ready to walk away, what happened to make you want to walk away, but you decided to change your mind?
Well, I can jump right in if you want me to.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead, Paula.
Just first.
We had an investigation down in Mechanicsville, Virginia, and we were actually brought in as a consulting team because my team actually does minor rites of exorcism, like house clearings and house blessings. And we were not aware when we started to do the cleansing that one of the entities that we were dealing with was a very high level demon. And we actually caught the name of the demon in an EVP from that night. We caught video of the dark mass coming down the spiral staircase. And as is common, after we got it cleared, we got the demon out of the house, we got the other spirit that was there out of the house, everything calmed down. You felt an instant lift in the home. The one thing that we always typically did is give the homeowners a DVD of the evidence that we caught, plus a written report of what we did. And with the caveat that we told them, do not play this out loud. Do not play what's on this DVD out loud because you can invite stuff back in that we just cleared out. Well, Grandma decided to play this DVD information and specifically the EVP of the demon's name out loud. And she came back in and literally all hell broke loose. And it not only broke loose down there, it broke loose on the three investigators, me, my friend Alex, and our buddy Mo. Mo actually quit ghost hunting because of this incident. We literally were plagued with nightmares that were horrific for over a month. This is the one that Father Dave Daly came in and helped us with. He came in and he reviewed all of our evidence at Alex's table. And every night we were battling this hag demon over and over again. And after that, we seriously considered disbanding. And then we didn't, because so many people, when they're in a situation like that, they're so afraid because this is their home or their business. And, you know, with Alex being military and me being fire department, we've done nothing but serve our entire adult lives. And I don't like leaving people without me being able to help them. So we just had to take a little bit of break, do some soul searching, get some back down to our spirituality and reconnect with the divine. And eventually we won.
That is phenomenal.
We actually have a situation in the chat, you guys. The Ungame says, I'm crying, I'm suicidal. Tell me to call the suicide prevention line. I don't know if this is a joke or whatnot. I did go to his channel.
I know the Ungame. I do know the Ungame. It does not look like a full control channel, so. No, I do know the Ungame. I do know him very well.
If you are contemplating that, HSFL has put in the chat right there the National Suicide Prevention Hotline phone number for you. So definitely make that call if this is a serious thing that you're telling us about. Don't wait. Don't hang out here. Make the phone call.
Yes, most definitely. Most definitely.
Yeah.
I'm looking on his site too, and it looks like this has been going on for quite a while.
Yeah, Ungame, I'm going to do this right now, and I'm not worried about it. My number's already been leaked. After I'm off this stream and everything else, guys, drop my personal phone number down. Ungame can give me a call, 815-409-0668. Everybody, it's already been leaked on Twitter, so it really doesn't matter. So if you want to talk with me later on in a couple hours on game, I'll feel free. Lunatic Dad would like to talk with you and everything else.
Okay, the Ungame's calling.
Also, if you go, Ghost, if you look on his channel, it said the Ungame Suicide. There's a little video there about that too.
Yes, okay. I know the Ungame. I know him.
I mean, I didn't want to think that it was maybe a troll in there just doing something or anything like that, but it has happened before.
Yep.
So I have to kind of be a little skeptical about it. But I mean, if this is a serious thing, call that phone number or call Lunatic Dad. He will talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good friend of mine, and he makes sense. He has talked to me several occasions. Not that I was feeling that he's advised me on different situations before, and he's a good person to talk to. So,
all right, well, you guys can carry on these questions and everything. Let's keep it rolling. I will talk with the Ungame later, and I'll help the kid out and everything else. Who was up next, as we were saying?
That would be Uber.
Questions.
Well, I can tell you, I just recently got into it. Not so much getting into what's the words I'm looking for? Paranormal investigations, but I've been getting into more of the medium type stuff and channeling. And it's very scary when I first started, but I don't believe I would want to quit, because now I'm just opening up my inner thoughts and my inner feelings and being able to learn about it. And actually, it's pretty interesting to me. I get scared and I just call Paula, say, what do I do? Like I just channeled her sister the other day. I called Paula and I said, I've got this lady for 3 days has been bugging me, saying and singing, there's no sun up in the sky, stormy weather. And I called Paula and I said, what the heck is going on here? I said, I've got this gal with this distinguished haircut like Jamie Lee Curtis. She's wearing this this blue colored sweater, short sleeved. What the heck is going on? And her name starts with an S. Paula said, that's my sister Sandy.
Oh my Lord.
I said, oh boy, is she short in stature? She said, yep, she sure was, about 5'1", which tells me because the young man that I had spoken with, I could tell he was long and lanky because I saw his full body. Hers, I could only see from the waist up, which that's kind of my sign that she is short in stature. So for me, I'm just starting to learn this. So I shouldn't say enjoying it, but I'm very interested, and it's almost like a healing thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's my.
So who's next? Because I do have other questions that I'm really curious about to ask this beautiful panel up here. I got a lot of things going through this psycho head of mine.
For me, I've never really been scared to the point that I was contemplating stopping doing the ghost hunting bit or any of that. I've freaked myself out a few times and then realized what I did afterwards and was like, oh God, you're so stupid, kind of thing, like, oh my God, I can't believe I just did that. But, as far as like being scared by something paranormal to the point that I was to turn and run or reevaluate what it was that I was doing there or anything like that, I can't say that I have. How about you, Brian?
Basically, I got into this field. I haven't been scared away of knowledge or anything like that yet, but eventually there will come a time and I will have the story for you.
Okay. Who's next? Joe, are you on?
No, Joe's
here.
behind the scenes.
I know you got a lot.
I'm behind the scenes, but if you really want to know, probably when I was picked up and thrown, or when I was choked out by the shower curtain. But other than that, I haven't really wanted to turn and run the other way or anything like that. There's too much good that can come from doing this versus bad. I'm willing to take the risk, basically.
Come on.
Okay, all right, Dad, next question.
Next question, Dad.
Is he still with us? We might have lost him for a little while.
Might have.
That's all right. That's all right. We can go on. Anyway, let's see who all's in the chat. Jen's Life Journey. Kelly Skaggs. Hi. What's going on, Kelly? Kelly is, I think she's still in the hospital. I haven't heard an update on Kelly here in the last day, but Jenna the fam, Uber Goober, Sherry V's in there, Francis, Boomer Rock. He says, hey, I'm back. Yeah, Boomer, we're gonna bring you up on here just shortly. Here, we're gonna get some of these guests out of the way, and then we'll bring you up if you don't mind. And if Mama Rock wants to come up with you, that's cool too. We could do that as well. Red Kryptonite's in there. Another Nation 13 member. Is he back? No, I think he dropped out of the call completely.
Yeah.
So, Frozen Fury, what's going on, man? Let's see. James the Sharpshooter Man fam is in there dropping them PayPal links and the merch links. And yes, I did put up some new merchandise today, literally just a couple hours ago. So if you guys want to go and check that out, and Brian's got new merch on his channel as well. So,
heck yeah.
So, Paula, what was one of the scariest places that you've been to?
Let's see. Moundsville, up in Moundsville Prison, up in Moundsville, West Virginia.
It's like 10 minutes from my house.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally in my backyard, yeah.
my ex-mother-in-law lived there in McMecken, West Virginia, literally 5 minutes down the road.
Yep.
And one time when we were up there, I decided, well, they've got some tours going on. I'll go ahead and go in here and see what's going on. And that was pretty intense. Very active up there. Actually, a friend of mine was kind of jumped by one of the spirits down in the sugar shack.
Wow.
And I mean, when we can always tell when she's getting messed with by spirit, because when she had her son, she developed Bell's palsy right after she delivered him. And whenever spirit jumps her, that Bell's palsy kicks in again, and literally it looks like she's having a stroke. And when she went up there to the tour after I'd told her, that I'd stopped in up there, everything that went on, she decided to go on one of the tours, and she went with another group. And there just happened to be a Wiccan priestess in the group that went with her that literally transferred the spirit from my friend Kelly into her body. And then it took her about 10 minutes to get rid of it. But the sugar shack, there was some really nasty, nasty stuff down in there. Nasty dudes.
There's a lot of stuff going on in that prison. And I had an uncle that actually worked there as a guard. And when they had the riots back in the early 90s, before they shut the prison down,
right,
he told me stories of there was one person there that was considered to be a snitch. During the riots, they captured him. They took him into the kitchen, and they sealed him into a pot of beans and cooked him alive.
Would not.
I'm sorry, guys.
Also, if you ever get the chance to come back, let me know, and I'll take you out to the prison cemetery. It's nowhere near the actual prison. It's actually like 5 miles out of town. But there's a video up on my channel where I was out there if you want to take a look at it.
Oh, I will definitely check that out. Yeah.
Yeah, and that prison she's talking about, guys, it is literally sitting on an Indian burial ground.
Yep.
Like if you're facing the prison and looking at it, and you turn around completely around the opposite direction, you're looking at an Indian burial ground, Indian burial mound, which is why they named the town Moundsville.
Yep.
It's literally right across the street from the prison and the mound. Okay, Dad. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
I think because I'm normal. It's very possible.
You're breaking up a little bit.
Okay,
I'm
there sorry. I'm on the road. You gotta say that in the chat to people. Lunatic Dad's on the road driving his truck, trying to ask some damn questions. Ghost, shut the hell up and let me ask the damn questions. Anyway.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. There it is. This is for all my beautiful people up on that panel, except Ghost. If this is piggybacking off the previous one, have you ever had a ghost that you tried to get, not a ghost, but a demon or any type of evil entity, after you've attempted to remove it, it became even more aggressive? And if it became more aggressive, tell me what it was that got them perturbed in your mind. What got them mad?
You had to ask that one, Dad.
What?
You had to ask that one.
Yes, I do. It's very important. Very important. Because I'm intrigued by this. I told you I enjoy being a moderator if you can put up with me being in and out of a chat.
Oh, yeah.
So who's up
Brian,
first?
you seemed a little perturbed with the question. I'm going to let you take it first, Brian.
All right. Well, our old house, I ended up being possessed for like 10, 15 minutes. And we had Christy C come over. We were in the middle of blessing the house. Would not go away at all. It kept attacking and attacking and attacking. And still till this day, it's still in that house. It will not leave.
Wow.
Like, we don't know what happened when we moved in or before we moved in, but it's pretty bad in that house.
Now, that was something in which you attempted to get rid of, and it became even more angrier or
Yeah.
violent?
Yeah, it was more violent than usual.
Hmm. Okay, anybody else got some experiences on this?
Paula?
I actually had experience with Native American elementals.
Oh.
Down at my niece owned a house down in Powhatan, Virginia. And of course, that was, home to the Mattaponi, the Pamunkey, and the Powhatan tribes. And she actually had sightings outside of like dogs with red glowing eyes that would come right up to the windows and stuff like that. She had a regular pissed off ghost on the inside, but we actually, elementals you can't get rid of. You just can't. But you can make peace with them. And what we did was I took an apple tree sapling down with me, and I had blue cornmeal with me, and we had tobacco. We planted the sapling and put the offerings of the blue cornmeal and the tobacco in the hole with the sapling. Mo, who was with our group, is from the Pamunkey tribe, and he did a Pamunkey prayer, and it was great. Everything stopped. They were happy for a while until my niece's neighbor decided to be nice and mow her grass for her. And he ran over that sapling with his riding lawnmower. And then literally all hell broke loose. And she ended up moving from the house because things were so bad. She just gave up and moved out.
Wow. Now, I kind of have that same situation going on here right now. When we first moved in, and, we didn't have anything going on, but I was leery about, when moving on to a new property. I like to do the offering thing. We planted fruit trees, of course, as a peace offering, and, we haven't had any problems here lately. And they have just come through and they've tagged trees. They're going to start the cutting down of the trees. They're bringing a pipeline right through the middle of the property. So that's about to start any day now. They're supposed to come in here with dozers and tree trimming companies and start clearing the right-of-ways for the pipeline to come through the property. And I've noticed, like, I'll see on the security cameras, the one night I was literally on a call with a couple people, and I just kind of looked up at the cameras, and I seen what looked like, I don't know, the best I can do is I called it like a Slender Man, because the thing had to be like 9 foot tall, but it looked like a sapling that had arms and legs and was like trekking across the yard, and I caught it on camera. And when I rewound the film to see if I caught it, I didn't find it on the recording. So, I've started to notice a lot more activity out in the yard as the date gets closer to break ground on the pipeline. And I don't know what's going to happen there, but, you're disturbing property. And, of course, this whole valley was all Indian hunting grounds and everything else out through here. As I'm literally right across the river from McMecken. You know where I'm at.
Yep.
The Bel Air Bridge goes across the Benwood right there at the north end of McMecken.
Right.
So I'm on the other side of that bridge, back up the holler.
Well,
there you go.
Elementals will get disturbed if their natural habitats are disturbed, and they will act up. And you'll see stuff. You could have more rock slides in the area. If a river is I'm from the New River Valley in West Virginia, and they rerouted part of the New River. Well, that disturbed all kind of water elementals because that was all Shawnee land. back in the day and stuff. So, and a lot of the, like the Tennessee River Valley projects, a lot of them are haunted. And it's from displacing like Cherokees and displacing entire towns and stuff like that. When you mess with the elements and reroute them and mess up their natural habitat, you're going to have weird stuff like that happen. And the best you can do is leave offerings on your property for them so that they'll leave you alone. Plant another tree on your property or something like that.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
That's probably what we're going to have to do. After the pipeline is finished, just tearing things up, then they put everything back together. They hydro seed it, and within a month or two, all the grass is grown up, and all you have is a cleared off right away that goes through. But while it's being tore up, it's going to stir up some stuff, and I'm going to see stuff on those cameras, and I'm going to feel stuff out there in the yard. And the fact of the matter is, like the way that they're coming through, they're crossing an old turn of the century railroad bed where the railroad used to go through the yard. So we literally have a half mile of railroad bed that we could put a drag strip on if we wanted to in the backyard. Needless to say, all that iron sitting in that one spot for all those years, and there's a lot of activity out in this area anyways, because literally the hill behind us is where the explosion in the Bel Air mine was, underneath that hill right behind my house. And there's still like 75 bodies buried at the bottom of that mine. So, and that's right, like literally in my backyard. Like I can throw a rock and hit the hill that mine is in.
Ghost TJ Smith has a question for you in the chat.
TJ Smith, why don't I see TJ Smith? I have a question to ask you, okay? But I don't see the question.
Yeah, he didn't write it out yet. They didn't write it out yet.
Okay. Did everybody answer the question which was proposed to your panel?
All but Uber.
See, I'm just new to this, so I can't give any input on that.
Yeah, me too. I'm just so intrigued by all the stuff, because you know me, I love my paranormal channels. So
I know, I do too.
if you got a paranormal channel, let me know.
Well, I'll tell you what, we do paranormal every Friday night, Paula and I do. Tomorrow night we're going to be on I Run Paranormal site channel. We're going to be doing paranormal live then. But I got to get off of here, guys. I got to go do a breathing treatment. So
much love,
I love
baby.
you all, and thank you for to be watching here on the sidelines.
Take care,
I will
sweetheart.
catch you over there tomorrow on is it going to be on yours or is it going to be on Paula's?
Mine.
Okay.
It's going to be on Paula's tomorrow, 5 Pacific, 8 o'clock Eastern.
Okay.
So, yeah. Bye, everybody in the chat. Hi, Rosebud. Okay, everybody. Talk to y'all later. Love y'all.
Love you, oops.
Yeah, and we're going to be talking about Navajo.
You cut out. What was that? You're going to talk about what?
We're going to be talking about Navajo skinwalkers tomorrow night.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Sweet.
And
it's amazing. It's amazing. The next question I do have for the panel: have you ever had a loved one pass on, which we all have? That's not the question. Have you ever had a loved one that is passed on that is still with you now, that shows signs that things have ever happened, that you know for a fact it's one of your loved ones that has come back? And if so, why is it that if it's a peaceful spirit that it cannot be at rest, that it must stay on the earth? I would like to know why these spirits they have to stay here. Is there a portal? Is there a reason why they have to stay here instead of going on?
Do you want me to take that one?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I've got a influx of people that want to come up, and I'm just kind of I got to bring them up one at a time. Francis, I don't know if we'll get to you this show or not. If you still want to come up, we can get you on to the next one. But I've got a few people ahead of you, so
if you look at some of our Paranormal Friday night playbacks on Uber Goober's channel, you will see orbs flying around behind me. There's 3 over by my television usually, and 1 over on this side. The one over here is Auntie Rose. She's my great-great aunt. And then my mom, my dad, and my sister typically hang out over here.
I've seen.
And my dad, I know it's him because I hear the click of a Zippo and I smell Salem cigarettes. And
Oh, wow.
that's how I know. And I mean, that's been like that since he died in 1993. And sometimes spirits can't move on because they are what are called displaced souls. So a displaced soul can be a person who is afraid of judgment on the other side, so they refuse to move on. It can be someone who has unfinished business here, or it can be someone that doesn't realize that they're dead yet. So that's why you have like so many spirits like up in Gettysburg or, you know, battlefields, stuff like that. A lot of them do not realize that they're dead.
Oh, wow.
Well, along with the fact that you know, those battlefields were bathed in the blood of the fallen. I mean, literally bathed in it. Literally rivers and creeks filled with blood from the wounded and dead.
I live in Manassas, so I live in the middle of a Civil War battlefield for 2 battles.
Wow.
TJ says, do you believe... Okay, TJ's
Anybody
got
else
his question.
wants to answer that, please? I need everyone to take a turn.
Well, let's answer TJ's question real quick here. It's coming up from the chat, and I don't want to lose it in the chat. He says, do you believe in this crap about the dark web and hasn't mystery boxes that has all kinds of curses attached to it? You know,
it's
me
possible.
personally, I don't mess around with I couldn't tell you one way or another. Obviously, dark web is filled with hackers and trolls and things like that are, you know, they're out to get you, man. Yeah, just stay away from the dark web. That's all I can tell you. Says, because I've been watching videos and just one kept moving by itself. This dude bought off the dark web. I'm just wondering, I don't feel things around me, evil things. You can sense things.
Wow.
I mean,
yeah,
it's a possibility. It is. There's a possibility there. I don't know too much about it. I don't mess around with the dark web. My girlfriend told my dad, "Come here." Why he not let me know he here? Huh?
What?
Tommy asked a question. He says, "Ghost, have question. My girlfriend told my dad, come here. Why he not let me know he here?" I'm not sure.
Oh, so his girlfriend told his dad, come here. He not let me know he here. Oh, has your dad passed away, Tommy?
He's basically asking. He's basically asking, why doesn't his dad come to him but to his girlfriend?
That makes sense.
That does.
You know, he might have a stronger connection to the other side than he does. You know?
Yeah.
Some people do.
And
some people do.
Sometimes,
some people are more open than others.
Sometimes your immediate family can't connect with you because, you know, like the spirit guides won't, if you still need to process and finish grieving, they're not going to let that spirit come back and like keep you from going through the process of grieving. So, you know, that can be another, you know, if you still have like some issues going on with the grief process and losing your loved one and stuff, you know, that can be blocking them from actually coming through to you.
Yeah.
So did everybody answer my question now? Because
Well,
I have another one.
I haven't answered it yet, but in 2009, my stepfather was diagnosed with a mass and went into the hospital, and they was pretty sure it was cancer. So, the whole family was like, he's going in, he's doing bad. You should talk to him. So I called him on the phone. I talked to him. I said, look, I'm getting a plane. I'll be up there on Friday. I said, hang in there. At this point, it was to the point where he couldn't even talk. And they were taking him in on Thursday to do exploratory surgery on it to see if they couldn't remove it. And they opened him up, and when the air hit the cancer, it spread, and he passed away 7 o'clock the next morning. Now, 7 o'clock next morning, I didn't get a phone call from any family members or anything like that. In fact, I didn't get a phone call that he had passed until like 11 o'clock that afternoon. And my sister called me up. And she's like, well, I was just calling. I said, I already know. I said, Terry passed away 7 o'clock this morning, didn't he? She's like, yeah. Why? Did somebody call you? I said, nope. Already knew it. Don't know how I knew it, but I knew it. I knew what time. I knew where at. I knew the whole deal. I already knew it.
Wow.
It wasn't like he came to me in a dream and said goodbye or anything like that. I had actually told him on the phone. I was like, look, you better hold on. I says, because I'm a ghost hunter. If you pass away before I get up there and have my chance to say goodbye, I'm going to hunt you down and kick your ass in the afterlife. And he laughed about it. And he passed away the next morning. And yeah, I knew. I knew when he passed. I knew everything about it, and nobody had called me or told me or anything like that. And, I boarded the plane. I went up there, and I was there in time for his funeral, but I didn't get to say goodbye.
Yeah. Sorry, Ghost.
Wow.
No, that's all good.
Wow. Now, the next question I got, and this was asked on the previous ghost people, the paranormal people, but it's a little twist to it. About Ouija boards. Do you believe in, I know you guys all that were on here before says you will not touch them, but have you ever seen anything on video or friends or anybody that has messed with the paranormal on a Ouija board where it actually had possession itself occurred, and have you ever witnessed it?
That's a tricky one.
I did not physically witness it, but that demon that came through in that house in Mechanicsville came through a Ouija board.
Wow.
Because there's a proper way to open them. There's a proper way to close them. There's a proper way to consecrate them. And I do not use them. I don't know.
Okay.
I believe Boomer's going to be coming up here in a second, too.
All right, that question, like I said, I already know with Ghost and them, it's an absolute no. When do you believe, right now, as we are talking about all this, that the spirits and everything can read a chat?
Yes, they can.
Yeah.
I'd say
Okay.
yes. I mean, from what I don't know from experience, but from what I've seen on other people's streams, like Lou Rock and Mama Rock and Patty and the G Team and a few others.
Yeah.
I'd say yeah.
There was one of Uber Goober's live streams that we did on a Friday night, and she had a lady up whose channel name is C. Marie.
Yeah.
And C. Marie's house is like freaking haunted all over the place. She's actually been contacted like by the Dead Files and a couple of those shows that want to kind of investigate her house. When we were on there, and I was on there trying to tell C. Marie some of the things she could do to protect herself and to protect her family and to put up some wards around the house and things like that. she had a cup of like paintbrushes. She's a folk artist, and that cup went flying off of her desk, and then you could hear something banging on the outside of my house trying to get in. You heard it banging on the siding.
Oh, wow.
So, we immediately, there were a couple of other witches in the chat. I was like, everybody put up a, bright light of protection around yourselves. We said a prayer together, things settled down and stopped. But, I do believe that it can come through, a platform such as this.
Oh, yeah. Well, you look at it, they can come through phones, they can go through any kind of electrical device. Anything.
Welcome, Boomer.
Yeah, thanks, Dave.
Do you believe this? My bad. Go ahead.
Oh no, just I was thanking Dave for bringing me up here. Go ahead.
Well, next question I got for your panel is: you talk about spirit boxes. One, I've heard already that they can come through electronics and everything else. Do you believe that is the best form of way, safest way to communicate with the spirits through a spirit box? And if so, why?
Can I take that real quick?
Go ahead.
Go nuts, Boomer.
Okay. I myself, I've never personally used a spirit box, but I have a bit of knowledge on them. But my knowledge usually comes more or less from speaking to spirits on the other side. So, on that end of it, there is no safe way of contacting spirits. One device is the same as the next. Spirit box makes it easier because they can manipulate it easier and come through easier as, say, opposed to an app on a phone or whatever, although there are some valid apps that work just the same. But in my eyes, and based on what I've learned over the years, a tool's a tool. If you use it correctly, you'll get good results. If you use it incorrectly, you're going to get bad results.
I agree with
So
that.
safer, I don't think it's any safer, but it's easier to manage.
And that comes with a warning, though. If
Yep.
you're using the spirit box like that and you're using it and you don't know the proper ways or how to protect yourself when using it,
Right.
you can open yourself up to a lot of bad stuff.
Yes. And that's another reason why when I'm watching somebody's live stream, or even if it's a video and there's a spirit box running, now there's something with spirit boxes. I mean, well, any kind of electronic device can do it. They emit this signal. It's almost like a beacon that any spirits nearby are drawn to it. So knowing that there are spirits here in my apartment, I use earbuds anytime I listen to anybody doing a spirit box, because I, for the most part, don't like getting the other spirits around me involved in it, mostly because it confuses things. Because we have learned recently that spirits can communicate via internet back and forth. If somebody was running a spirit box right now, Sarah and everybody here would be trying to communicate with them and the spirits that they're drawing as well. And for me, somebody like me who's an empath and clairvoyant, I don't like to brag about that, but I have to mention it. It becomes havoc sometimes. So,
Paula, you have any input on that?
I agree that, it is a tool. I do not rely on spirit boxes specifically all the time. my favorite way of communicating is actually simple old flashlights. And that's one of the most effective ways for me. And, but with that said, I'm also a medium. So, you know, I pick up on spirit all the time. And, you know, it's easier for them to communicate because there's an energy that they can manipulate. And because most people aren't on the same vibrational level as spirit is. And people who are empaths, clairvoyants, psychics, and mediums tend to be on a higher vibrational level. So it's easier for them to communicate without any tools to spirit.
Yes,
exactly.
But
Exactly,
we
yeah.
always do protection prayers, and we have protective medals on. We have our St. Benedict's medals on when we go ghost hunting and stuff like that, especially if we're like clearing a space or something like that. You've got to be smart about how you do things.
Exactly.
There you
I
go.
like
There's
this
your
lady. Have I ever met you before? I like her.
No,
He is
no,
new to the
I'm
show.
new here.
But yeah, I totally agree. I like the simplest things the best. Flashlights, compasses,
Yep.
things like that.
Yep.
This is what I use right here. It's just a regular mag light,
Yep.
pen light. Takes
Yep.
2 AA batteries. You just turn the thing till it just barely comes on, goes off. To where it's like really sensitive to the touch. And you set it down someplace. And
I've actually seen people on these shows who can like the flashlight can be totally in the off position, and if you can get the spirits if you can convince the spirits to interact with them, they can be in off position and they could get them to blink or shine for as long as they're interacting with it. And a lot of people, they use that. What they do is they'll take one of those little mag lights, put a blue lens on one, red lens on the other, and they have 2 flashlights saying, all right, we're going to designate this one for no, this one for yes. Kind of like what I do with my app with the EMF says thing. Says, all right, we designate one color for yes or no answers and just ask basic yes or no questions. And whichever, and then you wait for, and I've seen it work many times. I've actually done it with I've never had 2 lights at once, but I've actually done it with like a little mag light that you have. It's in total off position. As a matter of fact, I've seen people take their batteries out. And what the spirit energy does is they use their energy, the static electricity in the air, draw it in to make the light glow faintly. Now, I've never seen them like beam it full power, but they can make it to glow long enough to, give you an answer. So I've seen that several times.
I had one investigation. I was at the Trough Run train tunnel in Bel Air, Ohio, which is just a few miles from my house. And the reports there is that back in early 2000, there was a teenager who had committed suicide in that tunnel and hung himself. And we went in there with the flashlights, and there's still, it's an old train tunnel. They've taken up the tracks, but the gravel, the real heavy slag is still there. And I did the flashlight bit, and I set it down between 2 rocks, and it was in there. It was in between 2 rocks. And I start asking questions, and, I start getting responses. The flashlight's going on and off and everything. And then out of nowhere, the flashlight literally just went flying across the room. There was nobody around it, like somebody kicked it. And I was like, yep, we're done here today. And we left.
Wow.
So obviously we was getting somebody's attention, or somebody something didn't want us there. And it literally kicked that flashlight across the tunnel. And there was no way that it just moved. It went flying. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, I know what. I don't know how I forgot to mention this. Earlier, when you first started and Green Bay was telling his story, now I went live for about 10 minutes explaining this. So if anybody wants the full explanation of what was going on, you can check out my live that I just did a little while ago. But during Green Bay's story, when he mentioned his ex-girlfriend and her witchcraft and all that, I heard this loud bang in my kitchen. Now, I'm thinking, well, something fell or whatever. So I got up and I went out there looking around. Nothing was on the floor. So I started opening and shutting things to see if I recognized the sound. And then I discovered when I opened and closed the back room door that goes into the back room, that was the sound I heard. During that, something had opened that door and slammed it. Okay, it's been at least 6 years since anything like that, any kind of activity like that, has happened here, and I just thought it was pretty strange since it happened during his story while he was telling his story. That's what I was trying to say to you. Did something just happened.
I know you're like
freaking out.
And that, did you pick up on anything when that went down?
Nothing different than when I mean, it like there's no like I don't feel any dark energy or anything. Nothing different from what I always feel. It was just that quick. Like I heard the slam. The funny thing is, I didn't hear the door open. Now, when I open that back door, you hear a little squeak, turning the handle and open the door. I didn't hear that. All I heard was the metallic click of the latch hitting it, striking the strike plate and the door slamming, and the reverberation, because it's a small back room, it echoed. It was like bang. So I went out my kitchen, I was opening and closing the fridge door, thinking maybe it was messing around. I opened and closed like cupboard doors, and my microwave door slammed that, and nothing sounded familiar. And then when I went out back to look out the back door, as I was coming back into the kitchen, I closed the door behind me. I'm like, that's the sound. And so something opened and slammed that freaking door.
Wow.
Okay, well, I've got an interesting conversation going on in the chat between Paula and Mystic Angel Christina. Mystic Angel, you want to come up here and share with everybody?
You can, Mystic. Yeah, we'll listen.
How do you know?
We'll bring Mystic up here. I just sent
Can
you.
I answer a question from Blood real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
He asked the question in the chat. How do you know if you have a dark spirit in your house? Now, I don't know about anybody else or the general public or anything, but anybody who's, I guess, gifted is the correct term. Anybody who's like empathic or a clairvoyant or medium, or they have ways of detecting it. An empath will detect it based on detecting their emotions, because empaths feel emotions of people, myself, also animals. But it's a feeling like you can feel the spirit's energy, the emotion. That's how I can detect whether there's an entity who's foul or an entity who is pleasant. But in general, I wouldn't know any other way of detecting that unless it actually physically interacts with you or something like that. If anybody else has an answer, I think that's a good question.
Anything to add? I think it was basically all put up out in front of me.
Hello.
Welcome, Mystic.
Welcome, Mystic.
So you guys had an interesting conversation going in the chat there, and I thought, you know what? It's a lot easier to talk to each other, and it's interesting because I was reading it like in the chat as Boomer was talking. I was reading through the conversation, so
Oh yeah.
It's nice to meet you,
I'm
Paula,
going
by the way.
back now, reading some of the stuff.
It's nice to meet you, by the way, Paula.
Nice to meet you, Mystic.
Yeah, I was telling Paula that between our conversations that I have the gift of being able to claircognizant intuitive empath, and I've been able to hear, see, and feel spirits around me all the time. And when I go out places, I have to wear a protective crystal because I pick up on everything around me. And for the longest time, I ended up trying to suppress my gift and not share it with everybody because I was made fun of for it. People thought I called me crazy lady.
Mm-hmm.
So since I've opened up to it and I'm embracing it, my clairvoyance and everything has really gotten stronger, and it's just sometimes it's a little overwhelming.
Now, I know you and Paula share a lot of the same, I want to say attributes, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, is there any advice you can give her, Paula, that could help her along? Because she's kind of new to this.
There are various types of psychic abilities. Okay, you've got empaths, who are the people who feel and pick up on emotions around everybody. You've got clairvoyance, which is being able to see things. You've got clairaudience, which is the ability to hear things. There's claircognizance, which is, just instantly knowing something. There's one for smell, and I can't remember what the smell one is off the top of my head. There's 5 clairs, and there are different gemstones that can help you based on your ability, whether you either want to develop it or to protect yourself from it. So, it just depends on what your intent is. One of the best ones that's like all around is amethyst. And black tourmaline for protection. Black tourmaline should be the best friend of every paranormal investigator out there. Because it's a good all-round protective crystal from anything negative, anything like that.
I don't know how well you can see this, but this is my moonstone crystal, and I wear it everywhere I go.
Moonstone?
It's actually got the spirit of my Native American sister living in it, and it's a protection.
Mm-hmm.
She protects me.
Moonstone is great for protection for your psychic abilities and also for developing psychic ability.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Now, I know Lunatic Dad kind of dropped off. He's probably going through an area where he doesn't have a whole lot of signal. He was back for a minute, but we didn't have any audio on him. But here's a question for the panel, and if you guys could take this one by one. If you were to suggest to someone in the chat the best way to protect themselves, what would it be? And why?
The best way I protect myself is I developed a good relationship with Archangel Michael, and I use him and his power. I pray to him and ask him for his light of protection. Anytime I do card readings or mess around with my app where I'm trying to communicate with spirits, or anytime a spirit comes through to me, I just ask for that protection of Archangel Michael to engulf me in his light, and that's usually enough for me. Plus, I do have some gems. I do have some crystals and stuff that the Gem sent me, and J-Mac sent me, that are up in my room that are always like, they help great with keeping the immediate areas clear of anything malevolent or anything like that. But I rely heavily on the power of Archangel Michael.
Awesome.
I think
Paula?
one of the most important things is to have a strong faith base and a strong connection to the divine, whatever faith you are. Even though I'm a practicing witch, when I go on investigations and I do any kind of work, I call in, rather than calling in the 4 elements, I call in the 4 archangels that correspond to those cardinal points for a Wiccan. I also, I've got stuff in the house all over the place. My best general protective gemstone I can recommend to anybody is black tourmaline. But religious metals are another thing. I've got a St. Florian and a St. Michael on me. And when I go on ghost hunts, I take St. Benedict with me. So even though I'm Wiccan, I still work with saints and archangels. So a faith and a conviction and a connection to the divine in whatever form.
I have a really sorry, Brian.
Go ahead, Mystic. Go ahead.
I have a really strong connection to Archangel Ariel. She is my main spirit guide. And then I've also got my animal spirit guides too, which my main one is the wolf. And my wolf is with me everywhere I go. And so is Ariel. I've also learned how to manifest a protection light around me when I go out too. And it's taken some practice, but I've gotten there.
Wow.
And also, and I'm definitely going to need it soon because my husband and I just purchasing a piece of property that has a family plot in the front yard.
Did you ever go over to your mom's house with that plot in the backyard yet?
I went over there before I left on my trip and went out, but it was dark before I could so I wasn't able to do a whole lot with it. But I plan on going over there again and seeing if there was anything there.
I'm telling you, you're going to find something there of significance. When you do, come back. We'll bring you up. That was one of the reasons I wanted to bring you up, was to ask you about that. I didn't want to ask you in the chat. I wanted to ask you in person if you had found anything there.
Not yet.
I had this feeling that you can find something there of either historical or family significance.
Yeah, by the time I got there, it was dark, so I wasn't able to really look around a whole lot yet. But I will. And the next time,
I'm sorry.
It's okay, but I've also got to get to investigate my own family plot when I get to my new house, because I'll have one in my front yard.
Now, what were you saying, Boomer?
I got something being hollered at me. Something about Steuben County terrible or something like it. That's what it sounds like.
Well, what's it?
Anybody have a direct connection with a Steuben County?
There's a Steubenville. It's a city just north of where I'm at, but.
Oh, they're saying counties. They're saying it's 3 words. Like it's Steuben County terrible, over and over again. Steuben County terrible. So I don't know if there's some kind of natural disaster going on in a place in Steuben County.
I mean, it could be something from one of the hurricanes that's coming through the south or something. I don't know. Be something to check into, though.
Yeah, I got checked into this because I just got something else too that I don't want to repeat.
Look me up Steuben County and see if there's any counties by the name of Steuben in, on, or around any of the hurricane areas.
I'm gonna text you something, Ghost.
We're gonna find out. Hold on. I got Lady Swan over here. We set up her a desk and dual monitor setup and everything over there, and she's on it. She's just.
There's a Steuben County, New York, and a Steuben County, Indiana that I found so far.
Wow, I lived in both freaking, like, I live in New York now, and I lived near Steuben County in Indiana too at one time. That's weird.
Mm-hmm.
What county is Lunatic Dad from?
Shit.
Anybody know?
Isn't it Ohio?
Huh?
That's
no. Lunatic Dad is in Indiana or Illinois.
He's in Illinois, yeah. All right, I just sent you something. See if anything on that comes up, Dave.
Where'd you send it?
Hangouts message. Oh no! Damn it! I sent it to the wrong person. Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't.
Damn
I didn't get it.
Hang on. I sent it to Angel.
Angel Muniz?
Oh no, he's probably freaking out right now.
You sent it to Angel Muniz?
Yeah.
He was in the chat earlier.
He's probably freaking out because he answered. He answered it with a question. I'm like, sorry, wrong person. Oh God, I'll get it to you here. There you are. All right, Ghost Mafia. I don't know how it got on his. But no, check this out though, because that's the last piece of the message I just got.
Coming through now, showing you typing. Let me see.
I don't know how to spell Steuben. All right, you know what I'm talking about. This is the last part of the message I got.
Okay.
So check that out for me.
Yes, hon.
Oh shit, I got a bunch of messages that I haven't seen.
Google that. Just Google that and see what comes up.
HSL says Steuben County, Indiana, and Steuben County, New York.
Mm-hmm.
See, we don't have any.
Nothing comes up under that last preference referring to Steuben County anywhere. But I don't know.
I don't know if it has anything. Yeah.
It might be something that happens yet to come too. You never know.
I don't know. I've never gotten like messages for the future before.
Well, think about this. You're on panel with two other clairvoyants. So the combined energy of this stream right now is off the scale, guys.
Yeah.
Like,
we get you guys all on the same wavelength and no telling what could come in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, not all psychics are mediums, but all mediums are psychic. So it's not your powers just aren't limited to being medium or an empath. So you can receive messages from the past or into the future too.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, usually the messages I receive usually have to deal with the present or every now and again the past. Or usually the past, sometimes the present, but I've never gotten any kind of information for future. But
I think I've only gotten something for the future one time. That was with one of my YouTube friends.
What do you think, Brian? You think it like getting these three in the same place at the same time could like getting them on the same wavelength? Do you think that could bring in more the focus on all three of them? What do you think, Brian?
I think it really could. They have all three of their wavelengths are pretty much based together, and it's going to bring in a lot more based around the three of them being just here on the one panel. It's insane.
I mean, we've never had something like this happen before. I'm interested to see if there's anything that Paula or Christina's picking up on now.
Yeah, like we've never had this happen before where we've had three on here. Never.
There's flooding issues in Steuben County, New York lately, but I don't know. Oh yeah, I heard about. Yeah, we get flash floods all the time, HSL. But that second part doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know if that second part is directly related because it came at two different intervals. I'm talking to Ghost right now. That second part came in like separate from the first part. So I don't know if they're related or what it even means. So Boomer Rock, why aren't you over at Green Bay at the Money Tree to get
Rosebud.
You're funny. You're funny.
I was laughing.
Wow.
I was laughing at Rosebud's comment. If the sparks start flying, are we safe in the chat?
I know you might want to break out some sage.
Yeah.
I was looking at I was laughing at Rosebud's comment where she said that if the sparks start flying, are we safe in the chat?
I was laughing at the trolls comment.
Well, that one too. But
Oh yeah.
Yeah, with every stream, you're going to have a troll or two, but that's all right. I mean, a view is a view. And honestly, guys, when you're on your channels and you get those thumbs down and you get them trolls, they're the ones giving you the most watch time. They really are, because they're going to hang on every word you say. And,
That's true.
you know, that's it. They're giving you the most watch time. So you be thankful for the trolls.
I don't know why, but the hair on my arms just started standing straight up.
You all right?
Yeah, it does get a little scary, Uber, when you get more than 2 or 3 people in the same vicinity working with the same type of gift or ability. They do tend to sometimes
attract.
Kind of, yeah, like that. Sometimes they clash or cause confusion because, especially if you're an empath on top of it all, and you're not sure like who's actually bringing in what and all that. It does get confusing sometimes. That's why I try to stay home as much as possible. You know, I'm pretty much a recluse because I can't be around too many people for very long. And especially if the other people have gifts as well, especially if they're other empaths. Because it does.
Rosebud says, I'm a dum-dum about this very interesting stuff. I wish I knew even the basics. I mean, you know, what kind of basics are you wanting to learn, Rosebud?
Yeah, Rosebud.
You know, you wanting to get into the to figure out how to be more open to things around you and see if you have any kind of empathic abilities, or, you know, what do you think about that, Brian?
Well, if she wants to learn, I'm sure Paula and that can teach her, and you know, like we can all teach her different things. Like each of us.
It's not like something that you would like teach, though. You have to have that inherent ability, but you know, bringing that ability out, she might be able to help her with. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I have only one thing to say to people who keep telling me over and over again, "Oh, I wish I had your gift." No, you don't. I've had to deal with this gift for over 45 years. Well, close to 45 years. And it has caused havoc in my life growing up with it. It has caused me to attempt suicide multiple times. You know, I mean, gift is an oxymoron for this. I wish I didn't see the images that I see or hear the cries and screams that I hear all the time I wish I wasn't the person they come to all the time, because some of the messages they want to pass on aren't always pleasant. And those are the ones I keep to myself. I only let people know the pleasant. I mean, if my mind was a TV show, you wouldn't make it through the first 5 minutes of it.
You need to take a minute there, Boomer.
I would not wish this on anybody.
I agree with Boomer that having the gift is not always easy. It's you gotta take it in steps and learn how to deal with it and work with it and not let it overtake you. Like I try not to focus on any of the negative stuff that comes through to me. I try to do the positive stuff, and sometimes it's hard.
And it's the stuff you can't let out that consumes you.
Exactly.
I imagine. I don't claim to have those abilities. Yes, I mean, I have some kind of abilities. I couldn't tell you what they are. I just call myself sensitive. I'm sensitive to the things that are going on around me. If I go into a haunted location, I get the feelings of the chills up my arms or the goosebumps and things like that. Once in a while, I can pick up on words or colors or something vague. It's usually really vague, and then it just kind of adds up and adds up and adds up until it finally makes sense at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Is that clairvoyance? If I was clairvoyant, I'd be like, oh, this person said to you. No, I can't do that. I'm not that refined, but I'll get urges to say a color or say the word pencil or just whatever.
Well, that's how it usually comes through for me. It comes through as bits and pieces. It's like it's a puzzle or a crypt that you have to put together to get the full picture, the full message. I mean, it never comes at you. It's all cryptic, and you have to arrange, sometimes the words don't come in clear enough, and I have to sit there and think of all the words that sound like that, put them together with the other words coming through, and I have to figure out what makes sense. Like, I mean, are they saying blue, or are they saying do, or are they saying you? That, because it doesn't always come in clear like that. It's not like sitting there listening to a tape recording. It's more like sitting there listening to a broken radio station. And they're saying full sentences, but you're only picking up so much of it because a lot of it gets dropped in communication. A lot of the words sound alike. And, so if somebody was to say, I know you, and it could sound like do or something, and you have to figure out, well, what makes sense? Do doesn't make sense. So I know you makes more sense.
Brian, have you ever
and
had
that's why,
that
what's that?
Brian, I was asking Brian if he's ever experienced that, like out on a ghost hunt where he just had the urge to say something. Like, like somebody was shouting it in your head, but you couldn't hear him, and you had the urge to shout it out. Like, I was wondering if Brian had ever experienced that on any of his ghost hunts or anything. But he's still muted. Brian, you're muted. Unmute your mic. Come on, Brian.
Brian.
He might have had to go to the restroom or something. I might have caught him on a break. I don't know.
Paula, have you ever been made fun of for when you shared your gift with the world?
Well, I've been lucky because no one made fun of me, because all of the women in my family had abilities, and we just didn't broadcast it, I guess. You know, it's like,
There it is.
the time I ever saw a ghost, I was like 4 years old, and I saw my granddad at the top of the stairs at my grandmother's farm, and I never met him. He died before I ever was born. And I had only seen pictures of him, and I pointed up and I said, "There's Grandpap." And my sister Sandy's like, "Yep, he comes in and hangs around. He's like, 'Hi, Paul Woody,' you know." And it's, you know, I'm from the South. We're crazy. Put our crazies out on the front porch and hand them a hot cocktail. But I suppressed it a lot, especially going into public safety. I had to learn to basically shut off, or else I probably would have lost my ever-loving mind. And then I began embracing it again further into my career when I was better able to process things from a psychological level, and not let it affect me as much. And then once I started doing that, you know, it came flooding through. And it's just a process of learning how to control the information. Most of the time I stay shut down, so I'm not bombarded all of the time. And I attribute that to my friend Marta, that I met years and years ago. We were working on a missing person case, the same missing person case. And we were feeding information to a sheriff's office on a missing child. And yeah, Uber, I'm fine, baby. Is my sister there? We're weirding you out again? Tell her to leave you alone. Tell Sandy to knock it off. You're allowed to get stern with her. Thank you very much.
Hey, Brian's back. Brian, what happened to your phone, man?
Oh, I had to keep typing the Hangouts. It wouldn't let me open the call again.
Oh, okay. Sorry to interrupt you there, Paula.
Oh, no.
Go ahead.
But yeah, you know, the longer that you work with it and become more, that you embrace it, the big thing is learning how to protect yourself and then to control the flow. And that was one of the things that helped me the most, was learning how to control the flow.
I've learned how to protect myself. It's just learning I haven't learned how to control the information coming in yet.
And that's just, you know, developing a deeper relationship with your spirit guides, really going deep with your spirit guides. They'll help you along.
Okay. Thank you.
You're very welcome, my dear. But if you want to...
Yeah, spirit guides are a big thing too.
Yeah, if you need some help, Mystic, DM me, honey. I'll work with you. Okay?
Thank you.
That's awesome. We was able to bring those two together today.
That is awesome.
You got it.
Thanks,
Hey,
Ghost.
Yeah, thank you, honey. Ghost, I'm going to have to get off here. I've got to get up at 4 a.m. to cook my old man breakfast.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think we're going to wrap this up here pretty soon. It's been a really good stream. Great viewer retention.
Oh, yeah.
But we're going to go on for a few more minutes. And, you know, we got some advertising to do toward the end and stuff like that. But we'll go on. But thank you for coming, Paula. And
thank you, honey.
I'll be over there watching your stream. When's your next show? Tomorrow at what time?
Tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific on Bull Run Paranormal.
And what's the topic?
Skinwalkers.
Skinwalkers.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Thanks, everybody. Good night. Good night.
Yeah, nice meeting you.
It was nice meeting you guys. Thank you.
I'm glad I got to meet her.
Oh, yeah. She's amazing.
I like her.
I met her and She is super nice, and she's helped out a lot with the hurricane streams and stuff we've been doing over on Ubers. She has been trained in swims like that. Myself, being a storm spotter, used to do storm chasing back in the day and things like that. So we've all been helping each other, and HSFL has been coming up there occasionally and helping out. He's also a storm spotter, where me and Herb spent years in the fire service, and we know about the rescue situation. We know what kind of mess it's going to be after the storm, and so we've been over there helping out with that a lot.
Yeah.
What's left of Michael is over top of me right now.
Yeah. Yeah, and what part? Where are you at now?
I'm in Barkman, North Carolina, right near about 30 minutes from the border of Virginia and North Carolina.
Now, do you have a lot of flooding in your area?
A lot of the back roads are already started to flood today, so they've got us on a 3-hour delay for school tomorrow. Otherwise, I'd be in bed by now.
How bad is the tornado outbreaks around you?
They've had us under a warning for it, but I haven't seen anything of it yet. Most of them have, but they have had a few actual spotted touchdowns in Virginia, which is, and the closest one to me was probably about an hour away.
Wow. So pretty dangerous up in your area then.
Yeah, right now. I think the heaviest part of it now is in Virginia, and it's going. It's leaving the state, so hopefully it won't be much longer.
Fortunately, that whole area is going to be under tornado warnings for hours and hours and hours, and with the energy from the storm just kind of still swirling around, even though it's no longer considered a hurricane, those tornadoes can pop up anywhere, and that's the way it's been for the last 2 days. Is those tornadoes pop up, they travel 15-20 miles, and then they disappear, and another one pops up someplace else, and you literally see them every hour popping up one place or another. It seems like now you watch the Weather Channel. Oh, we got a tornado in such and such, and 15 minutes later that one's gone, and then we got another tornado over here, and one over here, and one over here, and it's just bad. Considering that all that damage from Florence in that area from 2 weeks ago is still not taken care of yet. And I said this on an Uber stream earlier. I said it's like a train wreck on top of a train wreck. It's just gonna make a mess of a mess, and until the storm passes and they get some good weather down there to where they can get in there, do some recovery efforts, do some rescue efforts. You just got to wait it out.
South Carolina and North Carolina were still had a lot of damage still from when Florence went through, and then they got now Michael over top of it. It's a mess.
And as far as the paranormal stream, I have to kind of wonder. There's a lot of cemeteries and things down in that area, and there's going to be trees down and damaged headstones and things like that from trees falling on them, and you have to wonder if it's going to spike up activity in the cemeteries and places like that due to the just carnage that's coming through that area.
Yeah.
I think it will.
It's crazy, how many tornadoes actually pop up everywhere.
Well, especially after a storm front like this rolls through, yeah.
Yeah, that was a bad storm. The whole time on Ubers, I would be watching it, and it's, oh my God.
Because of my connection with the ocean, I could just feel the energy of the ocean and not even be on the beach. It was crazy. It was, especially when Florence went through, it was crazy.
Yeah, you can feel that. When that storm front starts moving in, you can feel the air pressure change. And like my wife, she had a tumor removed from her sinuses, and anytime the storms roll in here, she'll spike a headache because the air pressure will change, and she can literally feel the storms coming. So you can, it definitely does something to the air. It changes the pressure, and it can cause, yeah. She says barometric pressure is a bitch. So she suffers through that even after her surgeries and stuff, where she had the tumor removed. But yeah, it can definitely change atmospheric conditions, and it can affect the paranormal. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, really can.
K-Pup says our lake is at 101.63 feet and rising.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Now, earlier when y'all were talking about spirit boxes and stuff, because of my gifts and stuff, every time I try to listen to one, I get a massive headache. I don't know if it's because of the energy of the spirits coming through the spirit box or what it is, but I can't deal with them for very long.
You could have a hypersensitivity to ultrasonic sounds too, coming from the radio itself. I mean, is it just the spirit boxes, or is it any type of radio?
The radios, I'm fine. It's spirit boxes.
Well, it could be something paranormal then.
So I got a question for Boomer and Mystic.
Okay.
So
go ahead.
If they're
handle something quick.
Yeah, this is paranormal. If somebody has just passed away from a storm or anything like that, have they ever just come right to one of you two, or is it anything like vice versa? Or anything of the paranormal at all?
Mystic has a shorter answer to me, so I'll let her go first.
Yeah.
I've actually had one come to me once when somebody has passed away suddenly, and I never was able to figure out who it was or where they were coming from.
So, like, after a tornado or anything like that, you could get the odd one that just comes and pops in.
Yes.
Wow.
And it's because and sometimes it's because they don't know that they've passed, and they're trying to find help,
or they're trying to find another loved one or something like that. I've never experienced any spirit coming to me immediately after death. I've communicated more or less with cross spirits, which, there's a process to crossing, which most spirits aren't even able to come through immediately after death if they have crossed on, because there's a transition period they have to go through.
Yeah.
While they're crossing. As far as if they were let's say this occurred in Texas, I'm in New York, they wouldn't necessarily come to me, because they would go to the closest person they feel they could communicate to. Immediately, I've never experienced an immediate, I've never been right there with somebody when they passed. I've seen it in animals, but never a human being. Where I've witnessed their spirit energy leaving their body. But usually, I can pick up on the earthbound spirits. I can communicate with the earthbound spirits, but I mostly communicate with spirits who have passed on. So it's usually they will come to me when, let's say, during a live stream here.
Yeah.
There's a spirit who recognizes, and yes, they answered somebody's question earlier. I forgot somebody asked if spirits have the capability of like reading the chat and things like that. Yes, that's usually how they come to me to give a message to somebody who's either on the panel that they may see, or they'll recognize a name. A lot of times they're wrong because they recognize a name, but it's not the person they're looking for. But yeah, I'll be doing a live stream. That's how I started out doing this. I would do live streams, do sessions. What they do is they'll recognize either me saying somebody's name or hearing somebody's voice or seeing somebody's name in the chat. And they'll try to make a connection, and, you know, then I just take it from there. You know, let's say I got the name John Smith. Well, if John Smith's not in there, I'm going to assume it's John Smith trying to come through. So I'll say, hey, does anybody know John Smith? Oh, yeah, my brother's name was John Smith. He died 15 years ago in a car accident. And then I'll be like, well, don't give me any more information. And then what they do from there is they'll either project an image or something. What's that?
So wasn't that the John Smith? Wasn't that the guy with Pocahontas?
I think so.
I don't know.
Compliment, please.
But yeah, I mean, I've never experienced a spirit immediately coming to me right after death. But I know I get spirit traffic through here constantly, all the time. Some of them will want to stop and be chatty. Others just want to move on. They're passing through to move on. Actually, I think there's a portal in my back room, I swear, because I get so much spirit traffic through here. I think they're crossing through here. I don't know. I don't think I'm on an energy line, but you never know.
I've got a question. Interesting question. Now, you know, you go through YouTube and you find all these streams where people is, you know, empaths or card readers and things like that. How come you never see any streams of people channeling? You remember how like back in the day they used to channel. They'd invite
That's
the
a
spirit into
really
the body and actually talk in their voice. And do strange things like that, you know. But you never see that on a YouTube stream.
Yeah, because a lot of that is bunk. Back in the 60s and 70s and all that, like, you got all these, like, fake mediums or whatever, and they're out there, and they're saying, oh, I'm channeling so-and-so, and they start trying to speak in their voice and stuff. A lot of that's crap. So, I don't know. You would think YouTube would be a place where people would be doing that.
Right.
Because there's a lot of people on YouTube that are faking shit all the time.
That was going to be my next statement. Like, you see all these ghost hunters that go out, you know that not all of them are legit. Okay. There's obviously some out there that are scammers, and they'll rig things and, oh, this moved, or, oh, this moved, and this got knocked over. And, you know, it's not all factual stuff. A lot of it is for entertainment, and that's how they get the views. And that's, you know, that's just it. You know that people's doing it for views and things like that. Well, why doesn't this happen for views? You know, somebody would watch it. It's YouTube. Somebody would watch it, and somebody would believe that it was actually happening, even if it was a scam.
Exactly. Like, and I've noticed that too. Like, sometimes,
but you never see it. You never see it.
Yeah.
Right.
True that.
I think people are nowadays are beginning to realize that people are catching on to the bullshit.
Can I say something quick?
It's one thing to embellish, to make your videos better or whatever, but it's another thing to get on there and just out and out, like, you know, be total, complete fake with saying, "Oh, I'm channeling Elvis now. Here it comes. Oh yeah, I feel the sensation to sing hunka hunka burn left because I just channeled Elvis." You know, I wouldn't watch that shit.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
If that was something, look, I would watch that because I'd be like, this is so fake. I mean, I watch wrestling, and you know it's fake. Okay,
Yeah.
we all know that wrestling is scripted, and the WWE is. But it's
Yep.
entertainment.
Right.
You know, the entertainment value would be there. It would be if you cheesed it up and made it funny, people would watch it.
But you know
People would
what? I
watch
could do something like that because I have something that's called character, and you know, like I never try to claim I'm more than what I am. I explain to people what goes on with me and what kind of things happen with me and stuff.
Yeah.
And they take it for what they want from there. Okay. Like for one, I've never been able to call forth any one particular spirit to communicate to them. It happens sporadically. It happens, you know, they come forth on their own accord when they feel comfortable doing it. And so when I see all these other people saying, "Oh, I want to talk to so-and-so right now," and boom, they're there. Okay, I got to call bullshit on that one, people, because it doesn't happen that way. You know? Like, if I was sitting here and Dave said, "Hey, can you contact my mother for me?" And I'm like, "Okay, Dave's mom, will you come?" No, it doesn't work like that. Okay, I'm not a fucking operator to the spirit world.
Exactly.
I can't, you know. I mean, the spirit world is more vast than the physical world.
You know, and that's another thing.
No.
My mom. Okay, my mom has been topic of discussion with a few people about the EVPs thing because she's got a ton of stories. And my wife is like, "When are you gonna get your mom on the show? When are you gonna get your mom on the show?" You know what? I'm tired of hearing it, Lady Swan. Just for you. No, in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. That way, it's up on my channel. I'll do it on my channel because next week it's on Brian's, but the next time it's on my channel, I will get my mom on a Hangouts call and I will bring Mama Swan on the show.
Nice.
Are you happy with that? I will bring my mother, my dear old gray-haired mother, up on the show.
Hey, this, not to cut you off or anything, but this person here, this crazy Lady Swan person, has a question.
Question for the panel. How often has people that have
question for the panel? Question for the panel: how often has people that have passed come to you in your dreams?
All the time.
All the time.
Constantly.
Never.
Once or twice. And Lady Swan was there for that. She was there when it happened to me. She was there. It was just recently.
I have never had a past loved one come to me through a dream. But with my grandfathers, like my grandfather Washburn passed away years before my grandfather Darling, but when a week after his funeral, he came to me as an apparition. Okay, he came to me, just kind of held my hand, smiled, and then went off. And years later, my grandfather Darling died. He came to me, and I was staying at my grandmother's, and I was in the room that has a window that looks out onto the porch. I just happened to roll over, look out the window, and my grandfather Darling standing there. He smiled at me and disappeared. I guess that's their way of saying goodbye to me. But as far as dreaming of them, I never have. Never.
Yeah, I had a close personal friend of mine who passed away. Oh, when was Grumpy's? He passed. It's been over a year ago now. Year ago May. Yeah, a year ago in May, and he came to me not too long ago, and he had some messages for some close personal friends of ours, and literally is a messed up dream because his name was Chris. He was born on Christmas, and he came to me in a dream dressed up like Santa Claus because that's just his sick sense of humor. And it was comical because I was dreaming, but in the dream, I have this ability to realize that I'm in a dream and take control over the dream sometimes.
Yep.
And like literally, once I realized that I was dreaming, I said to him, I said, "This is one fucked up dream, isn't it?" And he looked at me and said, "It's your dream." And like everything that was happening in the dream just kind of dissolved away. It was just me and him there, and I'm talking to him and I'm asking him questions. He's answering questions, and that he had some messages. I said, "You got anything for me to tell anybody?" He said, "Yeah, tell Cincy I said this, and tell Beaver I said this, and tell, you know." And afterwards, when I woke up, I felt all the emotions that he had went through when he passed. I mean, literally, I was bawling like a baby, and I didn't know why. I just couldn't control it. Like I felt all the emotions. It was like I was in tears. I couldn't stop it. I couldn't control it, and it lasted for about 5-10 minutes, and then finally it went away, and I was gone. But I remembered every single word of everything that was said between me and him, and then I delivered the messages, and they were validated by the people that I gave the messages to. So it was kind of an eerie thing, and it was kind of creepy. I won't lie. I was a little bit freaked out by it. I think Lady Swan was too, because she just like didn't know what the hell was going on with me.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I've had dreams of other people's relatives that have passed that I didn't at the time. I didn't know who they were, but then I would years later discover, hey, wait, this person was in my dream. Like I'll be at a friend's house that I met, like, well, one time was when I was living in Indiana. A friend of mine, Doug Reeves, I just met him, and he took me to his mom and dad's house one time, and I saw a picture that his mom had in a little thing in the kitchen. I was like, wow, that looks familiar. And then it dawned on me, I dreamt about this person. And this was before I even knew these people, before I moved to Indiana. This was like years. I can't remember how long ago, but I remembered seeing this person in my dream. And it turned out that it was his mom's dad. And I never know why they come to me. But it's happened 3 or 4 times in my life where I would meet somebody new. I'd see a picture of somebody, or they'd start describing somebody, talking about somebody. I was like, you know what? That sounds a lot, very familiar. It's like I dreamt about these people, and I don't know why. Because there was no message to be given or anything. It's just I saw them there in a dream. One was a really screwed up dream, abstract kind of crap, a bunch of stupid crap going on, and all of a sudden there's this person there, semi involved in what's going on, and that'd be the person that would stick out in my mind. And then years later, I'd see a picture of them, or I'd hear somebody talking about them or something. But yeah, never my own relatives. I don't know why.
My grandfather on my dad's side passed away when my dad was a little boy, and he actually came to me in a dream one time, and he just smiled at me. He never said anything. And I know it was him because I have a picture of him.
Well, guys, it's getting on towards 11:30, and we're going to be heading towards the midnight hour here real soon. But want to thank everybody that's been here tonight: Uber Goober, Lunatic Dad, Green Bay Wacky, and really Green Bay, man.
Oh
You had
yeah,
some weird tasting girlfriends back in the day, brother.
Yeah,
you
right.
did, man.
Just saying, man. Boomer Rock, Paula from Bull Run Paranormal. I said her name right? Okay,
Yep.
I had to check. I'm terrible with names. Uh, and thank you guys for being on here. If you guys want to say any parting words, now's the time. We're gonna go on to telling what's going to be going on with Nations 13 here in a minute or so. So if you guys want to say a few parting words or not, go right ahead.
Oh yeah. Do you want to
Much
go first?
love. Keep it real.
Love and blessings to all.
That was the shortest speech you gave all night, Boomer.
Yeah.
I did that on purpose.
Well,
I know
I
you was
just want
reading
to.
the chat.
Yeah, I want to thank everybody for coming to the show tonight. It was really interesting. You know, we had a blast on here, and you guys get to hear everything too. You know, and if anybody wants to look into the paranormal field, um, first thing to do is ask one of us on this panel. You know, we go through a lot of stuff, but I just want to thank y'all.
Definitely want to thank James Sharpshooter for being an excellent mod and dropping all those links for us tonight. Much appreciated, brother. Also, the payback streams, Nation 13 payback streams this Sunday. Angel Muniz's channel. You guys aren't going to want to miss out on that because literally Lunatic Mama won last night. Lunatic Mama won. How much? I was over in Goober's stream for the end of it. How much did she win?
162.
Yep.
$162. Lunatic Mama won last night in the payback stream for HSFL. Guys,
It was fun.
Not something you guys want to miss out on. You definitely want to be a part of it because the more people we get into those streams, the bigger the pot gets. And so far, last night was the record so far. So it's just going to get bigger. It's just going to get more elaborate. You guys don't want to miss out. Look for more things coming from Brian and Dojo on their channels and all of Nations 13. We've still got paybacks for Anarchy. We still got paybacks for there's a few of them. Angel Muniz, Anarchy. Who we got left?
We have Gemma left, Angel
Gemma,
Muniz,
yes. Gemma, the
Anarchy,
newest member.
Red Kryptonite. Who
Yeah,
else
so
do we
there's
have?
four
There's quite a
more
few
left this month so far
Oh yeah.
that I know of. So
We have a
definitely,
few
guys,
more,
look
too.
out for that. JoJo's going to be trying out some new things on her channel as well for the Takeover Tuesdays. I don't know if you want to tell them a little bit about that or you just want to give them a surprise.
Well, I mean, you know, I'm all for surprising people when they decide to come into my chat. But we'll just say that there's some unusual and cruel punishments about to be happening.
Yeah.
Come
Something you don't
Takeover
want to miss
Tuesday.
out on.
This isn't just going to affect poor Brian, but it's going to affect everyone in Nations 13.
Yeah.
Other than that, what I do have to say is you need to check out Ghost's merch, Brian's merch, and my merch, and check out the new Nations 13 merch that we all put out. Each one has a different kind of style to it, guys. There's going to be something for everybody. So you guys need to check out the merch.
And all the Nations 13 members are putting out merch. And they're all have a different twist on the Nations 13 merch. So you can literally have like 13 different Nations 13 shirts and none of them look anything alike. So everybody's putting their own twist on it. So
and there's even leggings for the females.
Do you want to let them know what you just let out, babes?
The tapestry. If you guys want wall art, like a wall tapestry with the members of Nations 13 all listed on there, it's up now for sale, but it's only for 3 days. So it's limited, guys.
And remember, guys, if you like the content you're seeing, go ahead, hit up those PayPal donations to show your support for the channels, because it's only helping to make the channel grow, get new equipment and things like that. I never ask for, I never directly ask for, donations myself, but if you want to do it, you're more than welcome. And same with JoJo's channel, Brian's channel, and all the Nation's 13 members.
Oh, yeah.
We are viewer supported. So, anytime that we can make things better on the content for you guys, we're more than happy to. So,
And
if you guys have any suggestions of things that you would like to see, hit us up. Hit us up in Messenger or on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Let us know. Boomer says, "Thank you all for putting up with my long-winded going ons."
Boomer, you're always long-winded.
All right, guys. Well, with that, I think we're gonna go ahead and end this stream, and we will catch you next week, same time, different channel, over on Brian's Paranormal. So, with
Thanks,
that,
guys.
you guys have a good night. Stay safe down there in the hurricane areas.
Hell yeah.